Hi, this is Steve Rowe from Rowe Productions, Mortification and One Rowe Vision, and I'm answering the question of the week. It is the 26th of August 2011, and this week's question comes from Anthony Clout of Australia. I actually thought this question was from Brazil, and so that's why I'm answering it. But it's a question about Brazil, so here we go. And Anthony's question is, why does Mortification, an Aussie band, have such a huge Brazilian fan base? I have always wondered about this. It seems like 80% of all Mortification fans are from Brazil. Yes, we do have a huge fan base in Brazil. I think we have a huge fan base pretty much all over the world. I remember being in Brazil and also Mexico, Chile, Argentina in 2001. And the further south that we went, the more passionate the people were. It was an incredible experience. I mean, to actually perform to huge crowds in Brazil and Argentina especially was just amazing, and the passion for the people for Mortification was amazing. And also people that were not Christians as well were also there, and so I can't fault the passion of the people down there. The thing is, it's very, very difficult to go to parts of the world like Brazil and South America because of the cost. Last time we went there 10 years ago, we went at our own expense, and just from Mexico down to South American leg of the tour, we lost $20,000 just on that leg of the tour, and that is still being paid off from Rowe Productions, and Rowe Productions is still in debt because of over the years the tours we've done. People say to me, look, you've got to get out and tour, and we'll come and see you play and we'll buy your merchandise. That's not always the case. One of the things that's disheartening for musicians is when I was in Brazil and South America especially, I know that it's a poor country. I guess the whole world is in economic trouble at the moment. But 10 years ago, when we turned up in Brazil, there were bootleg t-shirts in the stores. People would hand me CDs and go, "Oh, Steve Rowe, I love your music," and yet they're handing me a bootleg CD for me to sign. Now, I understand the culture down there and there's not very much money. I also understand the importance of getting the message of Jesus Christ out there. Now, I have to see some degree the upside of bootlegging and people stealing music off the internet, because people are getting to hear the message of Jesus Christ through my music because of bootlegging and stealing from the internet, even though I'm not in favour of it, because you will see people who love metal music and rock music, you're going to see it die because you're not supporting the music that you like. And artists like myself that are presenting Jesus metal and Jesus rock are going to die. We're going to stop being able to continue doing what we're doing, because of course we do this by faith. But take this for a perspective. In the early 90s, Mortification was selling 60,000 units of every release. Talking albums like Scrolls of the Megaloth, Post Momentary Reflection, those two albums especially. Now, it was interesting, I was speaking to a small American record company just yesterday, and they said, we can offer you a record deal for the new Mortification album, and we will press, catch this, 200 CDs and 100 vinyl. Now, I laughed, and I said, so in 20 years we've gone from 60,000 sales to someone offering me a record deal for 300 sales. Now, I was thinking, oh, wouldn't it be great to hold up a record? Last week you all saw me with my record player playing records, and I would get a certain percentage of the records and a certain percentage of those small pressing of CDs. And of course these days a lot of people are buying music digitally. But what we really need, not just myself but other metal and rock missionaries, is we need to be seen by you guys, the fans, as missionaries. If you guys choose to steal music off the internet or to bootleg music, you have to face God for that. That's not my problem. It's just something that I would never do myself. Okay? But, people don't see people involved in Christian music as missionaries. Now, I was amazed a couple of weeks ago that my church, my home church, for the first time in my whole life, 2 weeks ago, gave me a figure of money from the church itself, coming from the senior pastor, as a missions offering to my ministry. That's the first time that's happened in my whole entire life. Now, the sort of money that they gave me is the sort of money that I would need every week from fans out there. And there are fans out there that support me and give me a little bit of money here and there. And God always provides where God provides. But I have said to the Lord, if the money becomes too much of an issue and Rowe Productions can't survive, that's obviously when you're asking me to stop. Now, you know that I've lived through cancer. I'm here for a reason. Besides the fact I'm here to glorify God and see people saved and look after my wife and be a good husband, look after my son and be a good father, I believe that I'm here to present Christian music. And so, with myself and other people similar to me, you need to look at the idea of supporting us as missionaries, like you would support any other missionary. And if you don't want to do that, you can always go to roweproductions.com and go to the store and buy a CD of Mortification or One Rowe Vision, or you can go to roweproductions.com and join the Infiltration Squad. Click on Infiltration Squad, go down the bottom and come and join the Infiltration Squad, so together we can see the Kingdom of God advanced. And it looks like we're going back to vinyl again. A lot of bands are doing it, so if it means going back to vinyl to help people buy the real thing, then maybe music's going back to vinyl, because people aren't buying CDs and people aren't even buying iTunes. So I love Brazil and I'd love to go back there. I'd love to go to South America, but right now, because of the situation economically around the world, that's impossible, and it's really impossible for me to go to Europe or even America at the moment. So keep me in prayer and I'll keep you guys in prayer. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next week.